program, which is, we're super grateful to have our local singer-songwriter Luanne Crosby here, who's been entertaining us and is going to give us a live rendition of a song that she wrote for us for our 20th anniversary called Understand.
Thanks.
Okay.
It soothes our aching souls, warms our weary hearts, clears our minds of thoughts when we feel we've come apart. It's always there for us in our darkest hours, shades us with its trees, delights us with its flowers. We in turn seek to protect this strong but fragile land. Anyone who's roamed these woods surely understands. It cleans the air we breathe, its waters quench our thirst, restores our mood to calm, even when we're at our worst, cools us with the dark, warms us from the chill. We trust it will provide, and pray it always will. We in turn seek to protect this strong but fragile land. Anyone who's climbed these hills surely understands. How can we not cherish this place that is our home? This planet is our savior, to whom we must atone for all that we've done wrong, for what we have destroyed. We can't turn back the clock, but we know how to go forward. We must now vow to protect this strong but fragile land. Anyone who's walked these fields surely understands. Anyone who's watched the sky, who's seen the lightning, heard the thunder, all of us who knows its wonder surely understand.
Wandering in the woods.
Then you understand.
I'm Kris and I'm going to give you the history of the Land Trust. I promise it'll be short, but heartfelt. In the late 1990s, the town had an open space preservation committee because at that point, Westborough was changing such a great deal. Its land was being rapidly developed by large developments of housing. And people who were concerned were appointed on a town committee, the Open Space Preservation Committee. And anybody here that was on that committee? Here, Don, I believe, and John Nurse. And John Nurse. They decided, however, after a lot of work on this committee, that it would be a great benefit for the town to establish a private, non-profit land trust. The reason why is there are definite benefits to having a non-profit, private, non-governmental land trust. Some of them are that a land trust can receive gifts. Gifts of land, it can purchase open space, it can secure conservation rights, and it can also negotiate directly with landowners. It can do creative fundraising as well. And what it doesn't have to do is get caught up in the tangle of town government and all the frustrating timelines they have. So therefore, in 1997, two of those members of the Land Trust both attorneys, two of the members of the Open Space Committee, Ellen Lutz and Tim Buckaloo, with others, but they were her main people, started the Westborough Community Land Trust. Now, unfortunately, neither of them are here today. One because Tim had to be away, but the other reason is Ellen, who was a very brilliant, dedicated international lawyer, very involved in human rights, died early of cancer in her 50s. And what we've done for her silver anniversary here is to dedicate a tree in her memory, a sourwood tree at Tower Hill. So hopefully you will all go to Tower Hill, New England Botanical Garden. And the newest garden is called the Ramble. It's a children's botanical garden. And Ellen has a tree dedicated to her. It's a lily of the valley tree or sourwood with a beautiful red foliage now. And it's right beside the pavilion up at the top of the hill with an appropriate marker saying she was the founder of the Westborough Community Land Trust. So next time you go to Tower Hill, check that out. The other founding directors included Karen Heitzman, who was the treasurer, Harry Newell, who was the vice treasurer, Ellen Google, who was the secretary, and other directors were Skip Ashton, Ellen Bishop, Leslie Drohan, Scott Hutchins, Rosemary Johnson, and Mary Emily Libby, some of you remember her, Ellie Pepper, whose daughter is here today, Allison Sanborn, and myself. I am curious, well, three of the founding directors are here. Four? Okay. So Ellen, Google, woo, they're actually wearing hats. Ellen Bishop, me. So if you see people with this is a special hat designed by Ellen Bishop, who's been our designer forever, and we're so lucky to have her. And it's an anniversary, limited edition. The mission of WCLT was determined to be, quote, to safeguard land to meet the environmental, recreational, agricultural, and scenic needs of the town of Westborough, and to preserve open space and the character of the land. In 1998, the first parcel was procured. It was a 6-acre parcel named Orchard Swamp off of Haskell Street, and it was donated by John Hero. Maybe some of you remember Jack Hero. So that was the very first parcel that we have. Since those early days, since 25 years ago, through donation or purchase, WCLT has acquired 206 acres of land, built or restored more than 35 miles of trails, and that includes the charm bracelet, which you probably have heard of, which is envisioned as providing a 28-mile loop around the open spaces of the town. So that is ongoing, done. Vern's doing a lot of work on the charm bracelet. The father of the charm bracelet. One of the newest things, I think one of the best developments that the Land Trust has done was last year, under the supervision of Keith Martin, who is the head of Stewardship, an all-person accessible trail was built around Gilmore Pond. That trail is made particularly so everyone, no matter what age or physical condition, can enjoy the beauties of nature as we all do when we take those trails. And what that trail has is it has rope guiding for people who have trouble seeing. So there's a rope. Is that called something particular, Scott? Anyway, you can hold on to the rope and go all the way around the trail. The other thing is they made the trail particularly accessible to strollers, wheelchairs, walkers, and any other type of things people need to walk, so that these beautiful trails are paved very carefully and straight, so that no matter what your condition is, you can have a beautiful walk around Gilmore Pond. So we have benefited Westborough for 25 years in many different ways. There have been hundreds of educational and environmental programs. Almost every month we have a different kind of, usually a hike of sort that has an environmental focus. They go from bird walking to fungus tours. You never know what you're going to get. Of course you do when you read our calendar, and so we're hoping all of you will join in some of our monthly events. But we've also done things like holding the annual town litter cleanup. And Janet Anderson has organized it since the beginning and done a beautiful job.
Since the beginning, but I have been doing it recently. It was Bruce Treader.
And Bruce Treader actually did the very beginning of this town litter. But the Land Trust really is the organization that gets that Westborough people out, and I think it's very clever to give them a whole week. They sign up for a particular place, and then they and their families have a whole week to clean it up. And Janet makes sure that those trash bags are in the right place at the right time to pick them up. So that's just one of the benefits that the Land Trust has done. It has also sponsored more than 100 Eagle projects, particularly through Stewardship, and many, many Girl Scout Gold Awards. So we get the high school students involved a lot in our stewardship activities to earn their scouting awards. There are also, I think we have more than 30 scholarships awarded to college students each year. And Annie Reed particularly, and others on the scholarship committee have given out $1,000, I believe they are, to those who write the best essay about environmental work in Westborough and why they love the environment and being in the woods. Kids need to be in the woods, and luckily these essays say why. So therefore, we are very lucky to have had the Land Trust for 25 years, and not only to benefit all of us. Are any of you original members? Yeah. Would you raise your hand, please? Original members of the Land Trust, 1997. So they have hung in here because they've gotten a lot from it, and they also give a lot to the Land Trust. And we hope that all of you who are members now or not, I see all of you as potential members, that you will continue to support the Land Trust. We're happy to have you here to help us celebrate our 25th anniversary. Thank you.
Thanks, Kris. All right. So to finish up, so we can get to toasts, there's a few things I absolutely have to do, and that first is thank Nurse Farm and the Nurse family for this amazing venue. We've had a great relationship with the family for years. John was on our board, right? And I particularly want to thank Tim and Catherine who helped organize everything and just say what a great thing this tent is for the community. Great summer it's been under the tent. Right, and from there, so I guess it's up to me. Kris dealt with the past. I'm going to say a few things about what we're planning for the future. I get to start with some really exciting news, right? So in addition to this being our 25th anniversary and as part of our 25th anniversary, we had the best membership fund drive we've ever had. So thanks everybody for that. On top of that, we received a $50,000 donation from one of our previous board members as a silver anniversary gift. That was given to promote the mission of the Land Trust, right? Stewardship, conservation, and education. But also clearly as an example to the rest of us that the 25th anniversary is a great time to think about donating to what we think is a great organization. All right, so what are we going to do with that? We have these great volunteers who are here, and we have resources. What are we going to do? So I don't have a 25-year plan for you. I'd be interested to hear from the founders whether their 25-year plan looked anything like what we actually became or accomplished. But I do have a few highlights of things that are coming, right? So everybody knows our missions are conservation, stewardship, and engaging the community through education, right? On the stewardship front, we've got a lot to do. In addition to doing what we always do, which is maintain 60 miles of trail in town, we've got 2 new properties, the Daypray property and the Zwicker Conservation Area, which we are collaborating with the town to sign and maintain and really, build up the trail networks there. If anybody is interested in installing some bridging in the Daypray property on the 15th, it'll be a blast. Right, on the education front, obviously we have a full set of events sponsored by us as well as co-sponsored by us. There's our calendar is up there somewhere behind Karen if anybody wants to needs to see. In addition to those sorts of activities, the major emphasis for the Land Trust over the past couple of years that sort of fits both the education, community engagement, and stewardship buckets has been increasing the accessibility of our trails. Right, you heard from Kris how we were able to make the Gilmore Pond Loop accessible to everybody, regardless of mobility and site challenges. The plan for the next few years is to further enhance that property by installing educational and sensory stations and really make that a destination where everybody can come and enjoy the outdoors. So that's one of our near-term goals for the next few years. And finally, on the conservation front, we've also had a good year. This year we acquired another parcel of land in Orchard Swamp. Right, so sort of a bookend of the hero property. The first piece of land we acquired. This was donated by the Chase family in memory of their matriarch, Barbara B. Chase, and which, as Kris said, brings our holdings up to 206 acres of land protected. And we continue to both work with landowners who might have a similar desire to conserve their land, as well as a real push to, with the town and with landowners to acquire easements that allow us to link our properties together into longer hikes, longer excursions. Obviously the goal here is the 28-mile Charm Bracelet Loop. But even before we get to the charm bracelet, the contiguous charm bracelet, all you have to do is look at the maps at the end, which are all of Karen and Keith's suggested hikes for the trail challenge, and you'll see you can hike 5, 6, 7 miles pretty easily contiguously through our town. If you're really ambitious, you should go to our website and see the map of the 17-miler that Keith, Karen, and Mark did last weekend. In 6 hours plus, I think. So there's a time challenge to it as well. Right. So that's what we have cooking. We are eternally grateful to all of you for your support and for your effort. And with that, it's time to toast and pat ourselves on the back. So we have a few of these. Right. So the first is to.
Anybody else need some?
Yeah, you definitely need that. So the
Champagne's on this table.
all right, the first is to our founders, those that are here and those that couldn't make it. And the second is to our volunteers, who are really the lifeblood of the organization. Thank you. Anybody else? To another 25. So eat, drink, be merry. I'm glad to see everybody here helping us celebrate something that's special.
Thank you.